Hallo, meine lieben Zuschauer und Zuschauer, Zuhörerinnen und Zuhörer, willkommen zu einem neuen Car-Launch Reveal vom Konfi Reacts-Kanal. Mein Name ist Konfi, es ist eine Ehre für Sie, diesen React aufnehmen zu dürfen. Mit mir sind, wie auch die letzten Mal, das habe ich ja bereits angekündigt, gute Bernie und gute Daniel. Guten Abend, meine Herren.
Hi.
Hi.
Wir machen den für uns letzten Car-Reveal React mit dem 2023er Mercedes, den F1 W14, welcher aber chronologisch gesehen der vorletzte Car-Reveal war. Hat sich alles, wie gesagt, ein bisschen verzögert. Es kam bei mir alles drauf. Krankheit, was war das andere dann danach? Nach Krankheit, noch irgendwas. Dann, jetzt hatte ich in den letzten Tagen eine große, wichtige Prüfung für die Ausbildung und so. Und von daher hat es alles ein bisschen nach hinten verschoben. So weit, dass wir jetzt sogar kurz vor dem ersten Renn-Grand Prix-Wochenende sind. Deswegen müssen wir uns da ein bisschen sputen. Aber das kriegen wir hin, nicht wahr?
Ja, geht schon irgendwie. Ist ja nicht meine Schuld, sag mal so.
Fuck you too. Aber, kriegen wir hin, Körper. Aber ja, das gegen euch beide. Aber ja, also, die hochmotivierten Herren haben sich versammelt, um nun auf das Auto zu reacten. Natürlich, so gesehen, jetzt da so viel Zeit vergangen ist, wenn von Benny die Frage kommen würde, bist du ungespoilert, müsste ich das als Nein beantworten, weil schon so viel Zeit vergangen ist, dass es, da kann man nicht ungespoilert bleiben. Aber natürlich in allen Details habe ich das Auto noch nicht kennengelernt, haben wir das Auto noch nicht kennengelernt, von daher bin ich gespannt, was Mercedes uns zu sagen hat. Zumindest haben sie sich mit der Zeit ein bisschen zurückgehalten, das ist doch ganz schön, und da es auch noch relativ noch nicht zu spät ist, werden wir auch diesmal nicht einschlafen müssen. Von daher...
Erst für späteren Aufnahmen.
Richtig. Von daher mache ich das Ding jetzt einfach auf Vollbild und zähle an. Wir starten in 1, 2, 3 und go.
So, wir haben jetzt so 4 Minuten Zeit, let's go.
Schön die Soundmische, wie sie jetzt beide in Gespräche reingestammt, man aber nichts zu verstehen.
Er hat kein Breakfast.
We're a few minutes away from going down to do our launch, so we'll head downstairs shortly. We'll meet up with Toto. We'll be just at the side of the stage, and our two presenters, Natalie and Naomi, will intro you on. So I'll send you onto stage. There'll be a semicircle of chairs, and if you're looking at the chairs, the order will go Natalie, Naomi, then Mick, you're next to Naomi, then George, then Lewis, then Toto. All right. The first part of the show is a bit of an interview with you guys.
Could you try?
A bit of an interview with you guys. After that, we go into our launch sequence we just recorded of the car, and then all the action is down by the car after that. So Toto will go up first for a chat with the presenters by the car, and then you guys will follow after. But I'll let you know when and where to stand, all right? So we're a few minutes away. Relax for a moment, and I'll take you down in a bit, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ja, das Coole für Mick, so, das ist sein erster richtiger Car-Launch, weil bei Haas gab es ja nie einen.
Struggle really trying to get that model right, and
das ist cool für ihn.
would you drive
Das
an
sieht echt gut aus.
Und dafür auch nicht mal richtig fahren dann.
National track and field. I got down to like Margaret Beckett's. I saw a wall. I was like, okay, yeah, it's probably just so you don't cut, you know.
Yeah.
And somebody went to the right. I was like, no.
Yeah.
It's
such a short track.
It is actually.
Yeah.
We're both on it open.
No, but I think it's better
Great
than
stuff,
the
fantastic.
one we did last year.
Yeah, that's all good for now. That's all good for now.
2:15.
Yeah, couple of minutes to go, and we'll just get you in on the side of set.
So what's the seating order again?
So seating order, we'll have Natalie and Naomi on the outside, then we'll bring Mick in, followed by George.
Ja, da heißt jetzt Nick
Yeah,
Schumacher.
Mick, George, Lewis, and then we'll have you on the outside.
Okay.
So a little bit of a round table, and then when we get to the other end, we'll do the launch. You'll come down the runway.
Yeah.
So it'll be you and the presenters first.
Yeah.
A little bit of chat with you. You can introduce Mike and Hal. So you'll leave set, they'll come on.
1 minute 45.
And then drivers will come in and do the end, and then we'll just do a final part where you can do a little word to the audience and the fans on this end. So we'll kind of get you at this end to do your final little part to camera. So
got it. Okay.
So yeah,
That's a minute and a half to the launch. Minute and a half.
man.
All right,
Okay.
we're ready for you.
Great. Okay. Have a good one. I'll see you in a bit, yeah? Wanna follow me?
Das ist Goldberg.
Danke, wollte auch gerade sagen, da kommt Bill Goldberg.
Der Totonator.
Ja.
Ja.
Das müssen wir richtig editen oder so. Das war so ein Goldberg-Film dann.
As close as possible.
Can I get my ring? It's Toto. Yeah. It's Toto at the top, and then drivers know how long a mic.
Ooh, nice new shoes.
I've got them.
Whoa.
You know who these shoes are? You know who the shoes are from?
No. What do you mean? One second.
They forgot my shoes for the photo shoot,
Okay.
so I like them. They were under your.
It's better look.
They were under your
Than the
rag.
locals.
Much better. I like the loafers. I like the loafers.
Yeah, you two would like work the same.
Toto gives me all this.
The internal one starts with the walk.
You begin.
So 2 presenters and Toto.
We are.
They're expensive loafers, aren't they? They're like ridiculous.
Yeah, I think we're on camera, but.
Ridiculous.
Holy sh!
Hello and welcome to the official launch of the Mercedes-AMG PETRONAS F1 W14 E-Performance, live from the home of British motorsport, Silverstone.
The first race of 2023 is just 18 days away, and over the next 30 minutes we're going to be looking ahead towards the new season, discussing all the developments made during this winter and welcoming a familiar face to the Mercedes-AMG team.
Plus, of course, as mentioned, most excitingly, we're going to be casting our eyes for the first time over the brand new W14 car with insight from the incredible team that have brought it all together.
But first, I think it's time that we welcome some very important people to join us. Team Principal and CEO Toto Wolff, and your drivers for 2023, reserve driver Mick Schumacher, Grand Prix winner George Russell, and 7-time world champion Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Korrigiert bitte almost 8.
Hello, how are you? Great to see you.
Likewise.
Happy birthday, George.
Happy
by Michael
birthday.
Masi.
You get a cheer for
Lewis
George's birthday. Happy birthday. Toto, 2022 was clearly an eventful season. Some races you were fighting to get out of Q1 and others, Brazil, 1-2. How do you reflect on it and what lessons have been learned?
I think when I look back, overall it was a difficult season. It was that we started with a car that was really not good, and we tried to figure out what happened, and it was difficult at times. But also managing your own emotions, because we had races that were pretty encouraging, like Barcelona, and then you go back to some tracks where the car didn't perform at all. So the learning is, I think we have a better understanding for what happened with the car. The personal learning is, you know, how to cope with the season that overall wasn't very successful, and obviously towards the end. The car got quicker, and finally George and Lewis were able to drive something that was a little bit more predictable, and we had some highlights like the one that you mentioned in Interlagos.
Absolutely. Now, Lewis, as Toto mentioned, it was an intense season, to say the least. So is 2 months enough of a break? I mean, are you feeling recharged and ready to go back at it again?
I mean, you look great.
Oh, thank you. No, I think for all of us, we always miss driving, so the break initially feels too short. And then when you get towards the end of it, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go, get back into the action. So, but I definitely maximized and enjoyed it.
Excellent, good to hear.
Great to hear, yeah.
22 was obviously your debut season with the team, George. 275 points, 8 podiums, a maiden pole, maiden win. I mean, that's actually pretty good going, considering the challenges that you were up against. How do you reflect on it?
Yeah, I think if you mentioned that at the start of the year, that they would be the figures, we'd have probably been pretty disappointed with that. But knowing how the season panned out, knowing the challenges we had with the car, I think we can be pretty proud of the job we did. And there were a lot of positives to take away from that season. The reliability of the car was great. The strategy on many occasions was really, really strong. And I think, like Toto said, the personal learnings we all went through, the technical learnings, you know, that's all gone into the car that's sat just across from us right now, and hopefully we've taken a step up.
So what does that mean for this year? What goals are you setting yourself?
I mean, we're all here to win. I mean, it's as simple as that. And we need to go out there. We need to see what the challenges we are facing with, but the team have put so much hard work into this car. The motivation and the fire within the factory is just immense because people don't want to repeat of what happened in 2022. So we're ready for it and we're motivated to go out there and fight.
Well, the motivation
ja, ist für Mercedes eine Enttäuschung, aber die tun so, als wäre das so ein richtig trauriges, schreckliches Jahr. Die waren keine Backmarker oder sowas, weißt du? Das war jetzt nicht so schlimm wie 2020 Ferrari oder so.
Aber für den ihre Verhältnisse war es halt schlimm. Das muss man auch so sagen.
Wir wären fast in die Formel 2 abgestiegen.
Richtig.
All the individuals in the team. I love being a part of a team that's
Nee,
working towards a common goal. I continue to love
Ihr seid
racing.
schon
I think
enttäuscht
that's
gewesen
never
für die
going to
halt.
change as a part of my DNA.
Ja, aber enttäuschend heißt nicht schrecklich oder schrecklich abgeschlossen insgesamt.
Nachdem du 7 oder 8 Mal hintereinander den Titel geholt hast, ist es doch wahrscheinlich im Lebensgeld nicht so geil.
Wie gesagt, ich rede einfach nur von der Leistung der Saison. Ich rede nicht über den Kontext von sonst was. Ich sage, die Saison war nicht schrecklich für Mercedes. War sie enttäuschend? Ja, sehr enttäuschend sogar. Für jeden bei Mercedes, bin ich mir 100% sicher. War sie schrecklich? War die Platzierung schrecklich? War die Leistung schrecklich? Nein, gar nicht schrecklich. War sogar gut, weil man sich sehr gut verbessert hat. Und selbst hätte man sich nicht verbessert, wäre man trotzdem immer noch Top 3 gewesen. Dass sich andere Teams würden dafür ihre Mütter opfern, um auf der Position
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they'll enjoy it a lot. Obviously, I'll be a bit on the sidelines this year, but I'll do my best.
Kommst besser zurück, Mick.
Much work I can do to support them.
Raus aus Haas ist, glaube ich, sogar wieder besser für ihn.
Be present, have a look at the videos, and try and see if
Keine Sorge, nächstes Jahr so
danach. And yeah, I think for myself, I'm really here to learn.
Bei Haas aber wieder.
Take as much
nein,
Gott, nein. And yeah, put that into work then in the future.
Great. Toto, some new talents in the team, but a new season always means a new start. So can you tell us a little bit about where the mindset of the team is right now and if there maybe are any challenges you foresee going into it?
Yeah, first of all, a sentence about Mick. I think Mick is such a great part of the team now because we have a driver that's actually been in the car the last couple of years, that knows the tires, that knows what the ins and out of last year's regulation, and being able to have two eyes out there on the track looking at those cars, feed it back in is really super valuable apart from the sim work. So I hope these guys don't have a fish poisoning, but in any case, you deserve to be in a car.
Sad für Mick, aber aus Sicht von Toto ist er der perfekte Testfahrer, so jemand, der Erfahrung hat, auch mit den letzten Regularien und nicht gerade aus der F2 kommt oder die Stoffel war seit Jahren nicht von 1 gefahren ist.
Where is the mindset of the team right now, and are there any maybe challenges going into it?
It's clear that we've seen the car now and we're contemplating, is she fast or not? Have we cured some of the problems? What are going to be the challenges that we spot on track? And that is a big unknown, but I guess there's more positive, there's excitement. I think we have the tools to understand, we have the tools to grow and develop the car and hopefully give George and Lewis something that works.
Starting here today, how excited do you still get about shakedowns like today? You still got a bit of goosebumps?
This is the most exciting part of the year. Like, just where you know, being at the factory this past week, seeing from the tub to all these small elements coming together, come out of different parts of the factory, and you see it come together, and everything fits so beautifully, and you just stand in awe of just seeing how amazing the designers are, the engineers, how much detail they go into when you look into where the engine compartment, how it all fits in perfectly, the uprights, the wing, everything. And then there's the other day I kind of freaked myself out. You know, there's almost 8 billion people in the world, and there's only 20 of us that get to do this, and there's only 2 of us that get to drive for this team. So we are so privileged, you know, beyond measure. So yeah, this is the most exciting time for sure to see. Especially with all the difficulties we had last year. Yeah, we're all anxious to get out there and see
what you've got.
Yeah, exactly. And also to see where everyone else is. You know, we see the pictures of people launching their cars, and you start to zoom in and see kind of what they've got, but we won't find out till next week exactly what everyone's got up their sleeve.
Well, only 18 days until the first race, so you don't have to wait too much longer.
That's soon.
It is.
Crazy, yeah.
So, exciting time for the team today. But Toto, it seems like a really exciting time for Formula One at the moment. I mean, we've got some new faces on the grid. We've got new teams wanting to join Formula One. And we've got exciting locations like Las Vegas on the grid, on the calendar this year, rather. What would you put the growth of the sport down to? And just how excited are you about that?
It's never one single component. I think we've seen some great racing competition. 2021, always the rivalry between Lewis and Max, and Netflix has played its part in the US. Certainly, we've attracted new audiences, very young, a lot of females.
It still hurts.
And I think all of that has come together. Obviously, the young drivers now also coming into being in competitive cars. Much more social media, which was a bit prohibited in the past, and we were the first sport that raced when COVID happened. We put on a great show, and all this together has put the sport in a great spot. Nevertheless, we always need to be wary to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely.
Talking of being wary, be wary in Vegas, penultimate race of the year. We want all the engineers to make it through that casino floor into the pit lane, please. How are you going to guarantee that?
Well, they are data people, so I don't think they will gamble. The odds are against you. So.
Yep, we learned that last year
at the launch.
At the launch, we learned that. Yes.
Yeah.
Learned the hard way.
Yeah, limit your spend. The odds are against you. The probability of winning is not great.
Good values for life. We've learned a lot today, haven't we? Toto, Lewis, George, Mick, thank you very much. We'll be hearing more from you a little later. But right now, it's the time that we've all been waiting for. The reveal of the brand new Mercedes-AMG PETRONAS F1 W14 E-Performance.
Können wir noch kürzer sagen?
Nein. Du musst uns das letzte Wörtchen rausspucken. Da ist er, da ist sie, da ist es.
Endlich wieder zurück zur richtigen Farbe. Carbon schwarz. Ja. Also ich mag das Design halt legitim. Das ist ja schon cool.
Aber für mich sind es die Silberpfeile und nicht die Schwarzpfeile. Das Design ist definitiv nice auf jeden Fall. Aber das ist für mich kein Mercedes. Weißt du, was ich meine? Ich bin halt zumindest in der Formel 1 bin ich ein Sacker für Tradition. Und im Fußball.
Ja, es ist ungewohnt. Obwohl man es schon gewohnt hat.
Aber ich muss auch sagen, also irgendwie fühlt es sich so leer an. Ich weiß nicht, das Design meine ich. So ein paar Sterne halt hinten, aber der Rest halt einfach nur schwarz, weißt du? Oder wie seht ihr das?
Ja. Ich verstehe, was du meinst, aber ich finde es jetzt nicht so schlimm.
Wow. I mean, it looks great. So come on, Toto, what's your gut feeling? Is it going to be as fast as it looks beautiful?
Well, good morning, first of all. It looks good. And I'm so happy that we've gone back also to the black livery, and we're going to talk about it in a second. Is she going to be as fast as she looks? I hope so, but definitely there is a lot of excitement in putting the car finally on the road.
Now, Toto, you mentioned it. Impossible to ignore. You've gone back to black. It looks fantastic. Now, I think that's a weight-saving thing, but it's also very reminiscent of your last very successful car, isn't it?
Exactly. When you look at where the story of the silver arrows came from, is that the Mercedes was put on track, the race car, it was white, overweight, which is a little bit of our story last year, and it scratched off the paint, and it ended up with bare aluminium, and the car made the weight. And so we came back, we really tried to get the weight off the car in every single bit, and therefore from the paint side, we committed in gaining the grams by leaving the car matte carbon, and history repeats itself. Just in this case, it's a modern material, it's carbon and not aluminium, and it's black. And on top of that, you know, we knew why we had a black car 2 years ago, and it just came together, and it's wonderful.
Feels right, doesn't it?
Feels right.
Fantastic. Another thing that's wonderful is these lovely young people behind us. Like, you've got some apprentices as well as industrial placement students from Brackley and Brixworth here today, as well as some interns from your title partner, Petronas. Just how important is it for you to have these young, dynamic people working on your car?
Yeah, but you've got to look dynamic also.
Dynamic? Feeling dynamic? Good, yes, love it.
When you come on campus today, there is so many young people, and you feel the buzz, the energy and the motivation, and that's great, because those interns and industrial placements and are going to be part of the organization in a few years in more senior positions. And you can see that already today in the team. There is young people coming up into leadership positions that have actually started as interns or placements, and that's fantastic.
It really is. And how important is that continued talent development in terms of the future of the team?
An organization or a race team is never a static organ. It's not like you can freeze it and say that's successful, we're going to keep it forever. You need to continuously evolve, and that's something which we embrace in the organization. So people old like me, or even older, they need to understand that somebody else will carry the baton, is going to run faster one day, and maybe it's one of these guys.
Or indeed all of them.
Love to hear that.
Or indeed all of them, hopefully.
Excellent stuff. Thank you, Toto, as ever. Right, joining us now to discuss some of the finer details of the new car.
Wir müssen wie alle anderen Teams Gewicht sparen, also schön fahrbar.
Director Mike Elliott and HPP Managing Director Hal Thomas.
Man sieht es ja, man hat ja bei eigentlich so wie allen Autos gesehen, dass überall ganz viel freigelegt Carbon ist, bei Ferrari, bei Ferrari auch und so weiter.
Good morning. How are you for joining us this morning?
Interessant, dass letztes Jahr nicht so das Thema war, aber dieses Jahr ist es anscheinend sehr wichtig oder so.
Ja.
Vielleicht die Regularien ist das Gewicht erhöht worden der Komponenten und dadurch versuchen die Teams das mit der fehlenden Farbe auszugleichen.
Möglich.
And I think it's been amazing to sort of watch the efforts both in Brackley and in Brixworth that's gone into this car. You know, a huge amount of hours, huge amount of intellectual thought to try and get to the design that we've got to, and let's hope it's a good one.
Man sieht wieder dass bei allen Autos so diese
Rohre,
die fast schon so rauskommen aus der Karosserie. So.
Oh, well, the easy answer is I hope not. I think when you look at the sort of the learning we took from last year, you look at the tools that we've put together, hopefully we've got all the right metrics in place to understand what we need to do to the car so it doesn't bounce, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
You guys have actually been very honest about the challenges that faced you last year. What did that do for the team mindset coming into 23?
I think the mindset that I've seen and the one that we discussed has been one about just relentless development. I mean, on the PU side, we've had constraints, more and more constraints as the regulations change. We've had, at the start of last year, a hardware freeze. At the start of this year, it's going to be a software performance freeze. And therefore, finding performance within those constraints is so much harder. And it's only through real innovation and real relentless work, relentless understanding can you bring any performance forward. And so that's the mindset I see.
Fantastic. Now, I want to know, because I'm sure that it's a challenge, just how hard is it every year to not just go back to the drawing board, start all over again, as opposed to trusting what you've got?
Good question, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you look at the periods we had huge success, obviously it's easy to take the car you've got and think, well, we just build on that. I think at times last year we were questioning ourselves and saying, you know, have we made a major mistake? Do we need to change what we're fundamentally doing? But I think we know if we go and we sort of tear it all up and start again, you know you're going to start further backwards. So it's about making those right decisions. And I think, although we had problems with the car last year, I think there's also a lot of goodness in the car. There's also a lot of things that did work for us. I think the drivers talked earlier about reliability that's been good. So I think you have to be careful, sort of not to sort of just throw it all away and start again.
Carry that momentum over.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, isn't it? You learn more from your failures, as Toto alluded to many times this year. So you must come into this year with positivity, hope, bit of confidence.
Yeah, we know, you know, Mike and I work closely together, and you know, I've seen a lot of the development that has gone on the chassis side, and I know that these guys have worked so hard on fixing the problems that they've had. I've seen the relentless development we've been doing at Brixworth. Is it going to be enough? What have everybody else done? We don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a better car than the one we had last year.
fingers crossed for sure. Now, Mike, I understand that, you know, most of the features are going to have to be kept top secret, but are there any key features of note that you can tell us about ahead of the season?
I think when you look at the cars, you look at our car, you look at some of the cars that have been released, it's all going to be in the details. It's a lot of the bits that you can't see, particularly under the floors. There's going to be a lot of development. I think some of the key bits for us, we've completely changed front and rear suspension, trying to help with the weight of the car, but also trying to help with some of the handling. You'll see there's quite significant changes in the bodywork. The core DNA is still the same, but there's quite significant changes in the bodywork. We've sort of looked at every single area and said, well, how can we improve what we've done? We looked at the problems we had last year and said, well, how do we guarantee, well, there's no guarantees, but how do we guarantee as best we can we don't have those problems this year? So it's all in the details.
Plenty of hard work.
Definitely. It sounds like a lot of hard work.
Thank you very much for your time indeed.
Thank you.
Mike and Hal. OK, I think it's about time we let the drivers back on stage for a closer look. Lewis, George, Mick, please join us.
Wie gesagt, ich wünsche jetzt Lewis und George nichts Schlimmes, aber es wäre auch ganz cool, wenn Mick dann irgendwie aus irgendeinem Grund den Mercedes verfahren könnte einmal in einem Rennen.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you guys have obviously had a taste of this car in the simulator, but Lewis, in a little bit, you're going to jump in the car for the first time for real.
Also
How much are you looking forward to that?
Kann ja einer mal so eine Grippe haben.
I mean, it's been a minute since we've
Das wäre halt für Mick eine riesige Sache. Ich wäre auch interessiert, inwiefern
we got to drive the old car,
fahren könnte oder so.
We've seen this in the works for some time now, and I remember before Christmas seeing it in the wind tunnel. And you hear about all the changes we've made, and you're just hoping that the characteristics of what we've been asking for the past, 12 months. So, yeah, I'm really, really excited. And I know everyone back at the factory has worked so hard to make this beautiful creation. So this is the most exciting time of the year when you get in for the first time, you drive out the pit lane, and you get that sense, okay, you've got the power, you've got the feeling, the mechanical balance, the aero working. That's what we're excited to see.
So, George, how do you approach a day like today? With caution? I mean, you're going to be competitive with each other, I'm sure. That's just in your DNA. Big birthday blowout?
Yeah, I think, firstly, just really excited to drive the car for the first time. I think, as Lewis said, you see it in so many different regards. You see it first on computer screens, the front wing, the rear wing, every single tiny little element. And then you see it come to life. We drive it in the simulator. And it's just such a proud moment when you see it. I mean, we both jumped in the car a couple of days ago to do the seat fit. And around the race bays, everybody's coming in to see the work that they have put in to this masterpiece. So I'm just going to go out there today, just make sure the car's working properly and try and set ourselves up for the test next week, because ultimately that's where we're going to find out how the car's truly performing.
Can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Very mature answer, by the way.
Mick, you've also seen, just the amount of hard work firsthand that goes into making a car like this. So tell me, how much of an appreciation have you developed for your new team?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously amazing. I mean, we're coming into one of the biggest teams. Obviously, seeing all the hard work put in. Obviously, I recently just joined, but to see the work that has gone into it and everybody working very hard to put it together. To now finally see it, and yeah, we'll hopefully get to drive it at some point, and yeah, just really excited.
Well, if hard work does translate
Ist endlich Binotto noch irgendwo anders jetzt in der Formel 1 untergekommen, oder ist er ganz raus?
Ich habe nichts gehört, dass er irgendwo wäre oder so.
Now, as mentioned, George and Lewis will be taking this car around the track a little bit later, and you'll be able to follow all of that action across Mercedes-AMG PETRONAS.
Okay, finally, Toto, over to you for your
die wechseln dann halt meistens nicht in der Formel 1, sondern die wechseln halt in
world. irgendeine andere Sparte von Ferrari rein oder so. Weil
Ferrari hat ja als
it's great that we're finally ready to go.
So
She's here.
Grand Prix
She
oder
looks
Verkauf
great.
oder
And
Management.
hopefully when we do the shakedown in an hour or so time, the car is also going to behave and be quick. So I hope you enjoyed the launch this morning. We're really happy that we could show you the real thing. And now keep your fingers crossed that the day goes well. And see you soon.
Okay, gut.
Cool.
Ja. Der Launch war okay. Wenigstens auch von der Länge nicht so unerträglich. Ja. Jeder hat was Interessantes gesagt. Von daher ich gebe Schulnote 2. Ist gut. Ist gut. Und wie gesagt, ja, das Auto ist schön. Schwarz ist wie gesagt eine echt schöne Farbe. Ich mag schwarz. Nice Farbe. Das Auto sieht gut aus. Ich habe aber das Gefühl, man hätte damit ein bisschen mehr machen können. Aber natürlich, sie wollten es simplistisch halten, um, wie gesagt, Gewicht zu sparen. Aber deswegen habe ich das Gefühl, am Ende war es ein bisschen leer. Und wie gesagt, ich bin einfach ein bisschen der Mann, der sagt, ich möchte, dass die Silberpfeile auch Silber sind. Das ist einfach meine Meinung.
Die Silberpfeile sind nicht mehr Silber. Das ist auch nicht mehr unbedingt Mercedes-Identität. Das sind inzwischen mehr.
Was ist es dann denn, bitte?
Mercedes halt.
Hey.
Einfach mehr.
Mercedes, einfach mehr. Das
neue Motto von Mercedes.
Nee. Das war ja gerade Looks unfinished. Ja, weil es halt nicht da gemalt wurde oder so. Ja, das Carbon da rausguckt. Aber wie gesagt, man sieht diese Exhaust-Pipes oder so, wie prägnant die da, wie so Adern ploppen die da raus. Das finde ich sehr interessant. Das ist irgendwie bei Mercedes noch am extremsten so. Das sieht aus, als würde das Halo bis da hinten quasi weitergeführt werden oder so. Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much, everybody, for following the day. I hope you like the car. I think it looks absolutely great, and we'll see you next week and the week after in Bahrain.
Und die letzten paar Minuten habe ich nicht mitbekommen, weil das die klassische Erschöpfung nach der Arbeit war.
Ja, aber ich habe gesehen, du bist ein bisschen ein, zweimal weggekippt.
Das ist immer so einmal am Abend, wenn ich nach Hause komme, dann bin ich mal kurz ein paar Minuten weg und danach bin ich wieder aktiv. Das ist aber so ein paar Minuten.
Aber gut, das war's vom Launch. Wie gesagt, ich habe zumindest meine Meinung dazu abgegeben, der dann, glaube ich, auch in dem Sinne. Wir können noch mal kurz einen kleinen Direktvergleich machen, so wie ich es bis jetzt immer gemacht habe.
Also, ich glaube, eines können wir schon sagen, das Design vom letzten Jahr schaut anders aus.
War.
Bernie mal mit diesen großartigen und überraschenden Aussagen, mit denen keiner gerechnet hat. Von daher hier nochmal ein kleiner Blick auf so einen kleinen Vergleich zwischen dem F1 W13 und F1 W14. Man kann auf jeden Fall sehen, interessanterweise hier diese, ich öffne es hier im nächsten, das ein bisschen größer ist. Ich kann auch hier ein bisschen reinzoomen. Wir können ja hier sehen, so, diese Sachen sind eine direkte Fortsetzung. Aber hier oben ist halt, sind die Shark Fins so weg. Man sieht jetzt hier diese prägnante, an der Seite diese prägnante, wie gesagt, Exhaust Pipe. Man kann schon sehen, an welchen Stellen das Auto gleich geblieben ist. Man kann aber auch sehen, dass eigentlich, ich glaube, Mercedes, das haben sie so ein bisschen angedeutet, sind ein bisschen radikaler rangegangen, haben viel verändert, was ja wahrscheinlich besser ist, weil, wie gesagt, das Auto aus deren Sicht natürlich nicht so gut war, das letztejährige Auto. Deswegen sehr interessant zu sehen. Wir auch hier schauen. Die Sidepods haben sie auch komplett angepasst. Deswegen hier auch nochmal so ein kleines Bild von Reddit für uns. Zum Beispiel kann man hier einfach sehen, genau, hier, ne, wie weit oben das hier ist, wie das weit das hier beim letzten Jahr sehr viel tiefer. Und hier die Sidepod-Struktur ist wirklich komplett anders. Das kann man hier an der gelben Linie hier erkennen, die ich so ein bisschen ziehe. Genau, hier nochmal, dafür muss Benny wieder geblastet werden. Ja, armer Benny. Kann man hier sehen, genau, hier die gelbe Linie. Da, das ist Sidepod, haben sie wirklich komplett verändert. Also da ist definitiv bei Mercedes große Änderung schon. Große Änderung. So, damit ihr auch mal ein bisschen redet, ich muss euch mal ein bisschen dazu drängen. Glaubt ihr, dass diese Änderungen für Mercedes von Erfolg gekrönt sein werden oder werden sie ein weiteres enttäuschendes Jahr haben?
Ich glaube, dass sie dieses Jahr weiter oben mitfahren werden als letztes Jahr. Und ich glaube, dass es dieses Jahr wirklich zu einem Dreikampf kommen kann zwischen Mercedes, Ferrari und Red Bull. Weil wäre auch mal interessant, einen Dreikampf zu sehen. Einen wirklichen Dreikampf.
Richtig.
Wäre interessant. Ich glaube, dass es dieses Jahr so weit kommt. Aus einem einfachen Grund. Mercedes hat, glaube ich, aus dem letzten Jahr gelernt, was beim Auto schlecht war. Hat, glaube ich, wahrscheinlich das Bouncing auch großteils angegangen, was ihnen ja letztes stark zugesetzt hat.
Das Porpoising war zum Ende des Jahres bei keinem Team mehr da. Das haben die alle bekämpfen können. Da wurden die Teams ja auch, sagen wir mal, in der Mitte der Saison von der FIA gezwungen, aktiv ihre Autos höher zu stellen, damit es nicht mehr zu extrem Popsing kommt.
Richtig. Und sag mal so, da das Ding ist, denke ich mal, sie werden das zweitbeste Team. Sagen wir so, ich habe letztes Mal ein bisschen scherzhaft gesagt, die werden so ein bisschen die Welt gewinnen, aber ich glaube, sie werden zweitbestes Team werden. Ferrari wird meiner Vermutung wahrscheinlich, allein schon wahrscheinlich, weil sie immer ihre scheiß Motoren nicht hinkriegen, wahrscheinlich Dritter. Und Mercedes wird wahrscheinlich überholen, wäre meine Vermutung. Und ich glaube, es wird der richtige Schritt sein für die. Allein schon da sie nicht die ganze Zeit über den Boden springen, wie sonst was.
Okay, na, das ist schon mal eine interessante Prädiktion. Ja, okay, gut. Dann, ich glaube, ihr habt auch nicht mehr viel zu sagen, oder?
Nee.
Guti.
Gut.
Dann, Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen. Das war für uns persönlich unser letzter Car Reveal, aber nach diesem Video wird noch, keine Sorge, das Alpine Car Reveal auch erscheinen. Deswegen freue dich auch darauf. Dankeschön fürs Zuschauen. Wir sehen uns dann, wie gesagt, erstmal zum Alpine Car Reveal. Und da ich das da noch nicht erwähnt habe, dann zu einem, wie im letzten Jahr, Preseason Testing Review und die Predictions für die Saison 2023. Freue dich drauf. Bis dann und ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.